Hello guys, and how are you doing? I'm fine, thank you. I'm doing well. I'm in the library. Yeah, I'm in the library. I've got appointment with the tutors to just go through my assessment. Yeah, that's my assessment. My assignment for the very last time is due tomorrow 9 a.m. and I just want to tick all the boxes, do all the corrections. I'm all done. This is the second appointment. I didn't take you on the first one, forgot, sorry. So last week I booked and she went through it, did a correction, sent it back to me, and I have done all the corrections, brought it back, so she just ticked everything. Hopefully I'm able to record maybe a section with her, and yeah, I might not show you her face, just maybe a voice and correction and what she expects of me, and I have to push it through tonight, make it go tonight, because tomorrow morning 9 a.m. I might be busy. I'm working tonight. I'm on night shift, coming back, taking the kids to school. I might miss 9 a.m. so I just want to get everything done and then push it off, submit it, put it on turn it in till before I leave for work by 6 p.m. and yes, that's it. And another thing is, today is the last day of school before the 4 weeks break for placement, and whatever it is, I'll get back to you if there's any other information. Alrighty, let's go in there.
Ask me these questions, I might say to you, okay, Bridget, as part of this assessment, I'd like to ask you a few questions about your past history. Are you a smoker? And you could literally just write what I've said. As part of the respiratory assessment, the nurse would need to find out some important information about TJ's past history. Some questions she may ask would include, are you a smoker or a non-smoker? How often do you have shortness of breath? Question mark. Another question may include, blah, blah, blah. So just literally like that. Okay. And even if you don't get I wouldn't put just all of them with a comma, but you could say kind of the rationale for them as well is important. So the nurse may ask TJ if he has any pain in the chest while breathing. If so, they may need to perform a pain assessment. Other questions may include finding out what activities are impacted by his shortness of breath, and is there any other family history of shortness of breath? And then you can go do that. So it might take you 3 or 4 sentences to say those, but it's basically saying, as part of the assessment, the nurse needs to take a history. Some of the questions she may ask, or they may ask to get that information would be, and then you could kind of say 2, and then in the next sentence say 2 more of those. Right, Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah,
it's quite
makes sense. It makes more sense now. I was like, I know she's gonna be changing, but maybe like this, so I don't get confused.
Don't launch straight into the questions, but just outline it. Say to gather information about TJ's past history of the respiratory assessment, the nurse may use questions such as are you a smoker or non-smoker? How often does the shortness of breath occur? To help provide information for this assessment. Other questions that may be important are blah, 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 blah. Alrighty. Yeah, and then because you're also providing some of the rationale for why you're asking things here. Alright. So I think that's okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
What you've done. Highlight it all.
Put in double space,
indent all of your paragraphs. Yep.
Okay, for something like, I just leave the heading, or put it at the middle, and then...
Yep, middle probably for those ones, because I think it's just a level 1 heading.
Okay.
Don't use an introduction and case study, just start your paper.
Okay.
Yep, so generally APA says subheadings are fine, but you don't need one for introduction, and you don't need one for conclusion, but for the other key areas you can.
So take off introduction, case study, and then conclusion. I have conclusion too.
Yep,
so take that off.
So that will just start like that.
Okay.
And I would join that with that. It's fine that you're... So... Yep, the aim of this essay is to describe patterns and, I would just say this essay describes.
Okay.
Don't even say aim. Tell them I've done it. Not aim. I'm not trying. Tell them I have done this. So I would just say this essay describes.
Okay.
Do you want to do it? Change
Yeah, just do it now.
Because you don't want to say.
Yeah.
We're going to tell Melanie that you've done it, not that you're aiming to.
Melanie, I'm not trying to. No more, please. I'm done.
Just say this essay describes.
Yeah.
This essay
describes.
And then just get rid of that and then describes. Yeah. This essay, and then make describes. Yep, describes. Perfect. So this essay describes the...
Now you go again. You see where the accent comes? Just because I'm here with you, if I was in class, I'm like, what did she just say?
What do you say?
The,
yeah. I do say both, but you like the. What the hell is that? What are these lunatics talking about? So this essay describes the pathophysiology and physiology of sickle cell anemia for a nursing assessment. Beautiful. This essay focuses, get rid of is. This essay focuses, or you could say is focused, but I would say focuses. And what's it not like about that up there? Just go back. It's probably the space. This essay focuses on the case of, it's probably just an extra space. Yeah, just click on that and it will resolve it. This essay focuses on the case of Mr. T.J. Morgan, a 39-year-old man of African descent and suffering from sickle cell disease. His sickle cell disease is managed with frequent blood transfusions. Recently, the patient has been admitted to the didn't found that it's hard so to improve when there's a need to try and get rid of dig to.
There's a need
and
to.
you could even just not say that, to be honest. You could just say then you could say, I would almost just get rid of that because that's just what you're doing. That sentence, especially if you're short on word count.
Yeah.
And dig is, I get what you're saying by it, but it's not as, there could be a more like academic term. And it's fine to just say, he's got this. Now we're going to say, in this essay, the pathophysiology and signs and symptoms. Have you already said that?
No,
so you've already said that, the pathophysiology of sickle cell anemia.
For nursing student.
Assessment.
Yeah, no symptoms.
And also its relationship. Well, then you could just either or. You could actually keep deleting that and add up here. This essay describes the pathophysiology and signs and symptoms of sickle cell anemia.
Okay, for nursing assessment.
And then you could get rid of all of that down to there then. All the way down to from here to where we are. Then you could say,
it is then
and by
shortness of breath. Then we'll say, found that the patient is highly fatigued and short of breath.
That's fine, but you don't have to include it in there, but it's just outlining the case study, so it's not wrong. You could say then, this essay then provides...
this could be followed.
Yeah, about the focused patient assessment. And what's the key area? Don't say one of the key areas. Which one did you do? You did a respiratory assessment.
Yeah.
So say, this essay provides a focused patient assessment.
I did pain. Because
I did pain.
Yeah,
then say pain. Sorry. Then say pain. Instead of one of the key areas, say this essay... or whatever, is then followed by a focused patient assessment, just say respiratory assessment. Full stop. Or under this, the examination questions related to, okay, that's fine. Discuss the indications and the medication class prescribed to the patient, the adverse effects will be discussed. Yep. Yeah, so I would just say that you're going to do a pain assessment. Don't say one of the key areas. So when they say that in any of the descriptions in the future, just say what you're doing, because someone else might be doing respiratory or education or whatever, but you're going to do so. And I would just say followed by the focused patient respiratory assessment I'd almost say for TJ too, like rather than, because it's really not assessment of the disease, it's the assessment of TJ.
Okay,
and then I'd say,
TJ Morgan,
and then almost there, consider like maybe a full stop, and then say next the no, that's fine, just leave it. But yeah, I would just change that to be very specific for what you've done. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe consider deleting just that little bit there, because that's really information that's going to come down into your paper or that you've already set up here.
Okay.
Describes the pathophysiology, signs and symptoms of, done, and then come down into here. Or, like, you don't have to, but it's just little, it's not going to be like the difference between a pass and fail, but it's just little differences between, it being really clear and just, and it's always a work in progress in, like, with the first few ones. It's so much of a massive learning curve. Everything becomes easier as we move on, because you get into that notion of, here's my general sentence or two, here's what I'm going to do in my paper, clearly outlined, here's my little, thing. But yeah, so you're well on the way. We'll just, like, tighten up those things as we keep going. And then you feel comfortable about, go through and indent all of your paragraphs.
Okay, I'll do that.
If you've got a subheading, that's fine. But here, you
close
will delete that one.
Yeah,
and then just
indent.
indicate that that's a new paragraph. Yeah. And then we're going to say here, as part of that history-taking assessment.
So I'm going to take off the questions.
Yep.
And then just continue as part of.
Yeah, if you're asking them in the paper, you would say the nurse may ask the patient, and then you could put it in like speech marks. Are you a smoker or non-smoker? How often, how often do you smoke? Close brackets. Then you could go back to your normal writing. The nurse may also need to ask TJ, how long has your shortness of breath been? Yeah, so use the speech marks around the questions in the sentence.
Oh, good.
Yep. And then the other thing to do is, do you have Grammarly?
Yeah.
Use the Grammarly.
Okay.
Anything in red needs to be addressed.
Yeah. It's just okay. Now I've done the rest, but for Tajane, I think that was the.
Oh yeah, it'll pick up Tarjan as being like a spelling mistake that you can.
So that
ignore.
so that was like that's the only thing left now, because I've used Grammarly to do other things.
So just click on that and then just go ignore all.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's fine. It'll always come up with your drugs.
I've done the rest out. Just that. All right.
Perfect. Yeah.
All righty. Thank you.
No worries.
All right. Thank you. All right, I'm leaving now. She's told me what to do. I just need to, all I need to do now is get all the corrections done and I'll submit it. It's just little things. I'll submit it and yeah, she's waiting for you. Oh, is she? Yeah, said you're 12:15. Bye. Alrighty. All right, I'm done. Finished with her. So my tutor, we did final corrections, just a little things to do here and there, And yeah, it's okay. I'll get it done, and I'm sure by 6 p.m. I should be submitting this assignment. All good. That's it. I'll see you guys later. I'm going now. Oh my god, it's raining. Jeez, I can't afford to wait back for this rain.